There's this entire framework of Chinese medicine that could actually make the season feel less like survival mode. I'm going to walk you through how I'm attempting, emphasis on the attempting, to live with winter instead of against it. I'm Sarah, and I just finished my doctorate in Chinese medicine. The deeper I get into this work, the more I realize how backwards we got seasonal living. Today, I'm sharing 3 things that genuinely shifted how I move through winter. First, why we've been timing winter completely wrong. Second, the actual daily practices I use, at least when I remember to use them, because consistency is a little hard. And third, a way of thinking about rest that doesn't make you feel like you're failing. Here's the part that made me sit up and pay attention when I learned it. The winter solstice is not the beginning of winter. It's actually the peak. It's the most winter that winter will be, which means if you're still trying to finish projects and tie up loose ends or set new extreme goals when the season is begging you to stop, it's no wonder you feel like shit. You're working against the actual season. Let me try to explain this without getting too deep into the Chinese medicine weeds. Traditional seasonal living breaks winter up into 6 distinct phases, each lasting about 2 weeks. Once you've passed the winter solstice, you're already in the middle of the season, which means we've already passed through this initial, oh god, it's getting cold phase, and we're moving really into the depth of the whole thing. The first few phases were about descent, temperatures dropping, nature closing up. That whole progression is signaling that rest is not optional anymore. We're supposed to be conserving and protecting our deepest reserves. Not grinding, not optimizing, conserving. Once we've reached the winter solstice, we've reached the maximum darkness, and we're already beginning to shift back towards a little bit of light. The coldest part of winter is where nature underground is doing its preparation for spring. Each phase has its own little energy signature. The thing is, we live in a culture that doesn't give a about seasonal rhythm. We're supposed to produce at the same level in January as we do in June. But understanding this framework at least gives me a little bit of permission to move differently right now. How does this actually translate to daily life when you still have to kind of function in capitalism? I've got 2 practices that help when I actually do them, which is not every day because I'm human. The first thing is to find ways to get genuine rest, particularly in the evenings. This isn't the scrolling on your phone rest, actual rest. Winter connects to the kidney energy and water element in Chinese medicine. And kidneys store everything that's vital, our deepest reserves. So in evenings, I try to dim the lights, move slowly, and let myself actually settle. I think of it like sediment in water slowly falling to the bottom, instead of keeping everything constantly stirred up. Second is slow, intentional movement in the morning. No intense workouts. It's just moving with awareness. It could be walking slowly, some gentle stretching. The point is conservation, not depletion. I know this sounds like basic wellness advice, but the intention is different. This isn't about becoming a more productive version of yourself. It's about working with the actual energy of the season instead of pretending that you can muscle through it. Because here's what I've learned the hard way. You can fight seasonal energy, and sometimes you have to because life doesn't pause just because it's winter. But when you fight it constantly, you end up depleted in ways that could take months or even years to recover. Ask me how I know. But the practices aren't just surface level. The deeper work, and honestly, this is the part that I'm still figuring out, is about actual restoration. Not just physical rest, but the whole thing. Winter energy is not just about sleeping more. It's about restoration at every level. Emotional, spiritual, energetic. The season connects to introspection, stillness, and conserving what is essential. Not in this toxic positivity, embrace the dark, but in a very practical, what actually sustains you way. One thing I've been doing is a kidney-centered meditation. Sounds fancy, but it's really just me doing a simple meditation with my hands over my lower back, my kidney area, focusing on warmth and stillness and asking myself what really needs rest. Sometimes it's my body. Sometimes it's the mental chatter. Sometimes it's just the endless doingness that our culture demands. I've also been working with the early darkness instead of fighting it. When the sun sets, instead of blasting lights and pretending that it's still daytime, I light candles, make tea, and let myself be in the quiet. It feels countercultural as hell, but maybe that means it's probably worth doing. The thing about these practices, they're not about achieving some perfect state of calm. They're about honoring both parts of winter, the deep rest and the quiet preservation of what matters. You're not checking out completely, but you're also not burning yourself out because you're trying to maintain summer productivity in January. Will this make you a better person? Probably not. Will it completely transform your life? I don't know. I'm still learning this myself. But will it make you feel less at war with the season you're in? I hope so. If this is landing for you, hit the like button. What's one way you're giving yourself permission to rest this winter? Or what's something that's making that impossible? Is it something that you're doing? Either answer is valid here. If you want more of this seasonal living stuff, Chinese medicine principles translated to actual practice, me figuring all of this out in real time, I have a newsletter called With the Seasons. There's a free version and a paid version, no pressure either way. But right now, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what actually needs winter restoration in your life? Is it your sleep, your pace, your need for solitude? Maybe it's depleted reserves because you pushed through autumn. Don't try to fix any of it, just notice it. If this approach resonates, I have other videos on seasonal living that you might find useful. Subscribe if you want more of this kind of content, or don't, but if you're feeling the pull of understanding these rhythms a little bit better, I'll be here working through it with you. Trust your own rhythm. Let winter teach you what it needs to teach you. Rest where you can. I'll see you next time.